Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Joy News, your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. My name is Mapitso Sibidi and you're live on News Today. Coming up, 228 parcels of suspected Indian hemp busted by Accra police. We have details on this latest development. Also in this package, fresh details emerged about a woman who was killed by her boyfriend and kept in a fridge at Ho Viav in the Volta region. More as Joy News is learning the two worked at a hotel in the region. Also, Association of Judges and Magistrates fight off accusations. President Akufo-Addo gave cause to Justice Onyaga to jail Dr. Oponi. We have business, sports and world news all in this package. Please stay tuned for details. In our first story, the Accra Regional Police Command has busted an Indian hemp smuggling syndicate. According to the police, the operation, which led to the arrest of a 36-year-old individual, followed weeks of surveillance by its officers. 228 parcels of the substance were retrieved from the suspect, Haruna Idrisu, identified as the main distributor of the illicit substances. Here's Accra Regional Police Commander DCOP Idi Siedu narrating to newsmen how the operation was carried out.
For possessing narcotic drugs without lawful authority. On 23 November 2021, the Regional Police Command gathered that a drug transporting syndicate who have been on the police wanted list have managed to transport into the Greater Accra region some substances suspected to be Indian hemp and have hidden the substances at a secret location. Surveillance was immediately mounted on their movement, and suspect Haruna Idrisu was identified as the main distributor. The police trailed him and succeeded in arresting him at his hideout at Bechile near Ashama, together with 228 slabs of dried leaves, all suspected to be Indian hemp. Investigation into the matter is ongoing. Further update will be communicated. The command takes this opportunity to warn all criminals to immediately cease their nefarious and criminal activities, because we are poised to come after them. Members of the general public are also encouraged to be vigilant at all times and to timely report suspicious characters or activities to the police for action. Thank you very much.
Now, the Association of Magistrates and Judges has described as malicious and false some accusation leveled against Supreme Court Judge Clemens Honyanuga. President of the association, Justice Henry Kofi, told pressmen the group had taken note of an accusation on social media that the judge was given 2 cars by President Akufo-Addo to ensure that former Cocoa Board CEO Dr. Stephen Oponi is jailed. Justice Honyanuga is hearing the trial of Dr. Oponi as an additional High Court judge. He was earlier this year restrained by the Supreme Court from hearing the case following accusations of bias leveled against him by Dr. Oponi. This decision was later set aside by an enhanced Supreme Court review panel, with the judge permitted to hear the case. Justice Kofi, in his address, argued the judge received 2 cars he was entitled to as a Supreme Court judge.
The Association of Magistrates and Judges of Ghana has noted with concern malicious allegations leveled on various social media platforms against certain judges, specifically including Justice Clemens Onyanuga, Justice of the Supreme Court. The accusations, which we find very scandalous, are to the effect that Justice Honyanuga has been given 2 brand new vehicles, one SUV and a saloon car by the President of the Republic through His Lordship, the Chief Justice of Ghana, with the sole purpose of getting Justice Honyanuga to jail 2 persons, namely Dr. Opuni and Seydou Agongo, who are accused persons in a case being tried by Justice Honyanuga as an additional High Court judge. Now, the association ordinarily, if it had been anything else, we would not have commented on it. But we find this allegation against Justice Honyanuga, who is a member of this association, and indeed the judiciary as a whole, because it involves an attack also on His Lordship, the Chief Justice. We find this allegation as an attempt to create disaffection against the said judge, and by extension, the judiciary as a whole, and we have found it necessary to set the record straight.
He insists the allegations are meant to tarnish the image of the judiciary and should be treated with the contempt it deserves.
Now, the Toyota Land Cruiser vehicles, the 7, and the Camry vehicles for the Supreme Court judges arrived in the country on the 15th and 16th of October 2021, this year, and were registered and allocated to all the 7 Supreme Court judges on the 25th of October 2021. The letter signed by His Lordship, the Chief Justice, allocating the 2 vehicles to the judges is dated 25th October 2021, and most of them took delivery of the vehicles on the 27th of October. Among the 7 judges of the Supreme Court allocated these vehicles was Justice Honyanuga, who was among the 4 judges appointed to the Supreme Court by His Excellency the President on 22nd May 2020. 13 of the Toyota Fortuner vehicles for High Court judges have also arrived and have been allocated to some of the High Court judges who are entitled to vehicles but did not have. 13. They were allocated on the same day that the 7 vehicles were allocated to the Supreme Court judges. Now, all the 3 Supreme Court judges appointed in December 2019 and the 4 appointed on May 22, 2020 were allocated these vehicles as duty post vehicles. As I have said, among this number, the 7 is Justice Honyanuga. Now, it is these vehicles, 2, one SUV and one Toyota Honyanuga, as a duty post vehicle, which is the source of the accusation that is being bandied around on social media.
Away from that, fresh details have emerged about the woman who was killed by her boyfriend and kept in a fridge at Ho Fiavi in the Volta region. According to police, investigations have revealed that deceased is a Zambian. Joy News is also learning the 2 worked at a hotel in the Volta region. Joining us on the phone line now is Maxwell Baba. He was at the crime scene this morning. Maxwell, what can you report? Maxwell, if you can hear me.
Well, the Volta Regional Police Headquarters, a while ago, we were actually at the crime scene where we've been interacting with the co-tenants of the suspect and the deceased. In fact, we're learning that the son of the landlady and the landlady herself were at the police station yesterday to write statement, to write their own accounts of what they know of this particular incident. We were at the so still at the home of the deceased, and then the suspect. We were told, some of them told us that the 2 worked at the same hotel here in the Volta region. But we are learning from police that it was the suspect who worked It was the lady who actually worked at the hotel. We'll be getting clarification from the public relations officer for the Volta Region Police, DSP Ifya Tenge, on that. She has some clarification for us. DSP, you can join us now. You're welcome to join us, DSP.
Thank you.
So we're the residents of the suspect, and we're told that the two of them worked at the same hotel, but police has different information.
Yes, thank you very much. First of all, the search efforts by the police to get the prime suspects in this murder continues unabated. And again, we have been able to contact the employees of the suspect. Initially, we had information that both of them were employees of the said hotel, but police investigation tell otherwise. From the hotel where we visited, there's only the gentleman, that is the suspect in this case, who happens to be an employee, but the lady usually joins him, to work anytime because she eventually had nothing to do. And so she's also known to the employers. We've also been able to establish contact with the family of the lady far away in Zambia, and we are in touch with some relatives, specifically a sister and a brother. Again, we have also noticed or detected that the suspect in this case has multiple names. Okay. From the hotel, he is known as Emmanuel. Then again, from the home, that's a neighborhood, they also know him as Frank, which was earlier, circulated or published. Then again, we are also learning from documents that the police have picked up that he is also known as Fiagbeji Kosi Augustine. So it looks like he has a number of names. For what reason, the police is yet to find out. But I still want to assure members of the public that, as we have earlier indicated, though he may be running for now, he cannot hide forever. We would continue to ask members of the public, as we have done. We have shared photos that we have been able to get from the crime scene and other places where the public will also support us in reaching the suspect who is on the run. We've also done a number of contacts where, for the purposes of investigation, it will not be ideal for the police to put out there. And so we want to assure, the Volta region and also the residents of the whole Fiave that looking at the work we are doing with the crime officer specifically involved in this particular case, we hope to at least make some successes in no time to come.
So when we visited the residents, we were told that the last time they saw the suspect was on Friday. The suspect and then the deceased was on Friday. But on Sunday, the suspect actually came for a spare key, from the landlady. I don't know if you have that information as well.
Yes, we also have that information. Mostly when an incident like this occurs, we rely a lot of information, especially from neighbors, people who live with either the victim or the suspect. And we also had that information that indeed on Friday, they saw the gentleman together with the lady, both of them, returning from work. And even on Saturday, they saw him alone. Then on Sunday, they even saw him again. So we are now working out to reconcile at what point in time was the lady murdered, where the gentleman was still found in the house, right from Friday till, the Sunday where he absconded. And so the information got to us on the Monday. And so these are pieces of information that the police have been able to gather from the crime scene together with a number of people that we have contacted. And we believe that when we work with this, at least we'll make a headway.
Are you able to share with us what CID investigators obtained from the crime scene yesterday? Yeah,
I think that whatever we have picked now is for us to analyze. When we do a crime scene reconstruction, we do an analysis of what that we have picked. If it is something that we believe that giving out to the public would help us to be able to arrive at our destination, probably to get the prime suspect arrested, I think that will help. But for now, the investigative team hasn't gotten that to us. And I believe that whatever they have been able to get from the crime scene is for them to analyze. So let us leave them for them to work. And if there's anything that we believe that we want to share with the public to seek for public support, we will do so.
Okay.
In other stories, the Ghana Water Company has dragged 28 of its customers in the Komenda, Edina Eguafo Ibrahim municipality and the Cape Coast South District to court over unpaid utility bills. According to the company, the individuals owe the company more than 300,000 Ghana cedis, and despite persistent notices by the company, they have not made any attempts to pay the bills. Communications Director of the company for the Western and Central regions, Nanaya Barima Bani, told the media after the court proceedings they would resort to the law courts to get their customers who owe them to pay their bills. Richard Kojanyako has more in this report.
There are a number of customers within the central region who are owing Ghana Water Company various sums of monies, and they have been disconnected, some for 3 years, some 2 years, 1 year, and we've made every effort to retrieve those arrears, to collect those amounts of monies that they owe us. But they have failed or refused to pay those monies. So the last resort that we have is to come to court.
Communications Director of the Ghana Water Company for the Western and Central regions, Nanaya Barima Bani, explaining why the company decided to resort to the courts. According to the Ghana Water Company, the customers who have defaulted have ignored several reminders and notices to them to pay their bills. 28 of them from Eguafo Ibrahim municipality and the Cape Coast South District were dragged to the court by the company. Details.
So far, we have 28 customers who owe Ghana Water Company in excess of 305,000 Ghana cedis. We've been to court this morning. We first went to Komenda, Edina, Eguafo, Ibrahim district to prosecute customers there. We had a customer who came and another did not come. So it has been adjourned to the 5th of December. We have been here, that is the Cape Coast District Court, in respect of a certain number of customers. You know, somebody was owing as much as 50,000 Ghana cedis, some 10,000 Ghana cedis, and they don't want to pay.
Lawyer for the Ghana Water Company, Isaac Griffin, says the company has been forced to take the legal action and want the defaulters to act in good faith.
We've brought them because some are in arrest for almost a year, 6 months, 7 months, and we think it is not helping. Even if, assuming without admitting that you have not even been served with a water bill, a prudent consumer, it is, proper for you to even approach the company to demand for your bill once you know that you have consumed. And their failure to do that. But then it's on record that they have been dealing with what? Been giving them individual bills, and then they have even, before we did not just got up to actually brought them. We served them notices, ample notices. And we thought that the only option is to bring them to court.
The cases have been adjourned to enable the accused persons to appear in court to answer the charges brought against them. Reporting for Joy News, Richard Kwejenyako, Cape Coast.
You're still watching Joy News. Today with me on Peter CBD. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more. You're welcome back. Less than 20 of the pupils of Bihi Primary School in the Wa municipality have access to furniture. The rest lie on the eroded, dirty and shoddy concrete floor to study, leaving their books and uniforms dirtied and torn. Flip that with the situation at Singh Kindergarten, where the pupils hold classes under neem and ebony trees, using their chairs as tables. Our West correspondent Rafiq Salam has the rest.
Watching from afar, you may think that all is well at the BA Primary School until you get closer. The first point of disappointment that greets you is the bevy of broken tables and chairs kept at a veranda in between classrooms. That clearly paints a mental picture of the furniture challenge at the school. Moving to primary 1, out of a total of 62 pupils, only 8 of them sat on 3 old and weakened dwell decks. The rest sat on the bare, eroded, dirty cement floor in a certain style akin to monkeys and kangaroos. Their school bags and books are recklessly placed by their sides or in front of them. The constant and continuous sitting and rubbing of their uniforms and mufti on the rough concrete floor have resulted in some of them being dirty and in some cases torn, exposing their vital parts. Issa Salam is the head teacher of BA Primary School.
This is a class of 65 pupils, but as you can see, we have only about 10 furniture in the classroom. And if we go to all the classes we have in this school, we are facing the same challenge in this school. For instance, the primary 1, we have about 62 children in that class. And if we go in there, we have only 3 furniture. So
enter primary 2, and it is worse. All the conditions that exist in primary 1 are here. A couple of benches have cooker stands that the people scramble to sit. The cliché in this classroom is first come, first serve, and sometimes it is the survival for the fittest. The bigger ones sometimes outpoise the smaller ones and bully them to sit on the old weak bench. COVID-19 safety health protocols are breached and thrown to the dogs due to inadequate furniture.
Those who are lying on the floor, it has a serious impact in terms of their learning, because when they write on the board and they are asked to write, it becomes a problem. Apart from that, their uniforms can easily get dirty, and once the uniforms get dirty, diseases, germs are likely to be transferred to their bodies.
Unlike the situation at BA Primary School, where they are grappling with the issue of inadequate furniture, the situation at St. Primary School is quite different. Here, they don't have classrooms, and what they do, they are attending classes under a neem and ebony tree. At least, they compose of chairs that are uniformed, but conspicuously missing are hexagonal wooden tables. As a result of that, they squat on the bare sand and use the chairs as their tables. The position of the sun also determines which size of the trees that the class will be held. For fear of being drenched, rainy days are whole days for the pupils. Head teacher of St. Primary School, Sano Alex, explains further.
You realize that anytime it is threatening to rain, they cannot sit under these trees to learn. So some of them, even when it is threatening to rain, they will just say, because we don't have classroom, we won't come to school. It's better we stay in the house rather than coming to school and then we have no places. So it's affecting a lot. At the moment, we are in the dry season, and you see that a lot of leaves are falling. And these children, when they are falling, their concentration is there. So we will wish that if there is a better way of giving us infrastructure, so that to allow these children to have a good place, a decent place to sit, it will help a lot.
One Municipal Director of Education, Sophia Dimanjo, who also doubles as the Dean of Directors of Education in the region, noted the challenges that the pupils are going through. Siharaba was quick to add that they are working with the One Municipal Assembly to fix the challenges.
We work with the Assembly, and so we have made this known to the Assembly, and so we are hoping, like I said, you know, from the beginning of the year we haven't had our MCs in place, so we are hoping that now that our MCs are getting settled, they will take steps to attend to these issues, and then, like I said, gradually we'll get there someday.
These are the children we call the future leaders of the country, but they are saying that the foundation to that leadership is weak. They are appealing for the authorities to come to their aid. Reporting for Joy News, Rafik Salam, Seng.
All right, now let's take a break for business. Just before, business stakeholders working in the area of development are gathering in the Upper West regional town of Jirapa this morning to deliberate on how to bridge the development gap between southern and northern Ghana. The annual event, dubbed Northern Ghana Development Summit, is a joint collaboration between the various regional coordinating councils of the 6 northern regions. The Northern Development Authority and Star Ghana Foundation Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is billed to speak at the opening event this morning, among other speakers such as the UN Special Rep of the Secretary General for West Africa and the Sahel, Dr. Ibn Chambers. Now, let's take you live for a sneak peek of the program, which is currently underway.
We're an agricultural area, and I think all previous speakers have talked about the huge potentials in agriculture in the north. So what is it that we can do to modernize agriculture and make it attractive to young people? Because if we continue with archaic practices and the rather tedious farming methods, relying exclusively on rainfall, rain-fed agriculture, it is difficult to make that attractive to young people. Are there ways that, and they obviously are. We have so many experts in agriculture. We have many partners who want to work with us. How can we really modernize agriculture and bring on board the teeming youth that are graduating from schools, and many of whom could be diverted to agriculture for productive purposes? And here, maybe we need to also see how we link that up with afforestation, or shall I say reforestation. Growing up from the eastern part of northern region, and those who know that corridor, which was former German part of Ghana, one of the things that you saw when you were entering any village or town in that corridor, I'm talking of that corridor going from Krachi maybe all the way to Boku, was that as you entered the town, there was a forest lot. It was a wood lot. It was usually teak. And as you left the town, there was another wood lot of teak. So now all of those have been cut. And so we're talking about climate change and what can we do to mitigate and what can we do to reverse this climate change, which is having such a negative impact, not only here in the north, but across the globe. So this is one area where, in a small way, district assemblies, municipal assemblies, communities, our chiefs and queen mothers, youth groups, let us bring back these wood lots. Why can't every village, every community in Ghana have a wood lot? And some of these also now should be fruit trees, commercial trees. So the relevant ministries should all come on board, and let's see, working with NDA, how we use this to green the north. I think that is something that is doable, and we can even also see how the entrepreneurial side of it comes in with people investing in these tree crops, whether they are mangoes or cashew, shea nuts, etc., etc. These are potential areas for growth in the north that we should harness. Energy sector is also one that, I mean, there's so much sunshine here. So if we're talking about renewables, the north should lead in that. How about ensuring that in the not too distant future, every public building is powered by solar or some renewable energy? So you can imagine if all our schools, our hospitals, the army barracks, the police barracks, name it, we're all to go solar. Then homes, of course.
Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to Business. My name is Darrell Kwao. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has justified proposed revenue measures outlined in the 2022 budget, insisting they are needed to stabilize the economy and deal with high infrastructure deficit. He has been speaking at the PricewaterhouseCoopers post-budget review engagement. George Rafi's report.
The finance minister's assurance is coming on the back of push for the tax to be scrapped, as well as threat of voting against the levy from the minority in parliament. Mr. Kenofriata noted that the only way out now is to review the way the tax could be applied, like the e-levy.
The challenge, as I see it really, is that we are at a crossroads of the development of our country. And we need to truly internalize where we are in our history and understand the intractable problems that we need to tackle, and the post-COVID giving us an opportunity to reassess who we are, our sort of common humanity, and address the three fundamental issues of youth unemployment, the issues of our infrastructure, and the issues of our debt, which in a sense also impacts our ability to go to international capital markets.
Speaking to Joy Business after the engagement, country partners PricewaterhouseCoopers Vish Ashagba described the 2022 budget as very aggressive in terms of government measures outlined to hit the fiscal targets.
We believe that the budget is ambitious, and we also believe it has to be, because as you will know, George, the economic indicators currently are in a difficult place. And for us to get out of those difficulties and to put the economy on a stronger footing, we need to be ambitious. So the revenue targets are ambitious. We think they have to be, and we think it's a good thing that they are. The expenditure estimates are reasonable, at least in relation to previous budgets or previous actual expenses. Yes, there's always work one could do on expenditure, but then there are social interventions focusing on job creation, focusing on entrepreneurship, and bringing in private sector in different forms to support the implementation.
Local tax partner PricewaterhouseCoopers Ashabedwebe noted that most businesses still want some clarity on the e-levy proposed in the 2022 budget.
As businesses, we've seen so many instances where proposals are put forward or actually passed through as law, but the implementation is just done so poorly that it actually costs more money, more inconvenience, and results in lots of audits and a lot of administrative hassle for the businesses. So they are concerned because they just want to know and be assured that this time it will be different. And so that is why we as PwC are very eager that certain key positions in the budget, particularly the e-levy, and the implementation of the modified tax system and the VAT flat rate scheme are implemented very clearly and transparently, and that it's very easy to understand for the taxpayer. Because a good tax system has to be easy to understand to make it easy to comply. Otherwise, people won't comply. And so that's really where the pulse is. People are concerned and just want to see effective implementation this time to avoid previous administrative hassles.
The chief executive of the Ghana Association of Bankers, John Ewa, during the program argued that the time has come for local businesses and entrepreneurs to be supported, not just by government, but the larger population as well. The program brought together players in the banking, industry and the academia to deliberate on policy measures outlined in the 2022 budget.
Well, meanwhile, government is projecting almost 7 billion cedis in revenue from the tax on electronic transactions, or e-levy, by the end of next year. Here's Deputy Minister of Finance, Dr. John Kuma.
The more important reason why we must all accept this e-tax or e-levy is its outreach to almost everybody in the country. People say, oh, expand the tax net, let everybody be part so that we can spread.
But the number has not improved, Doc. Because
which number?
The number of total persons who are paying taxes?
This
unless it has not been published yet.
This is 2022.
Okay.
I mean, this will take effect in 2022.
Okay.
Another step that we have taken is when we replaced 10 numbers in Ghana, which was about 4.6% of the population, with the Ghana card. It immediately shot it to about 86%. Okay, so now the potential taxpayers in Ghana, as far as visibility to the law is concerned, is about 86%. So we now have to make sure all professionals, people who have not been paying their taxes, you'll be there and you receive a letter, a love letter from the race team that you are estimated to pay this income tax, but you have not. And so come and show cause why you should not pay. So all those programs have been put in place, and it is part of the 2020 measures for enforcement. Okay, so it's not just about the e-tax, but we are doing a number of compliance engagements to ensure that we are able to rake in more revenues. And one good thing that happened in this budget is that we took away about 5 different taxes from people.
There's more business news coming up at the top of the hour on the marketplace. Meantime, you can get up to date on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. Sports is up next.
Today with me, Muftao Nabila Abdullah, House of Oak have extended an invite to President Nana Akufo-Addo to grace their CAF Confederation Cup playoff game against JS Saoura. The Phobians, during a courtesy call to the Jubilee House on Tuesday, said the confidence of the team is currently on the low, and his presence will be a booster as they seek to make their country proud in the CAF Interclub competition.
Presently, we are the sole representative flying the flag of Ghana on the African continent. We'll start again on Sunday with the champions from Algeria, and we hope that we'll be able to give a good account of yourselves. And also, Mr. President, to being the sole representative of Ghana on the African continent, we also want to seek your support to enable us be able to operate competitively and then give account of ourselves. Lastly, Mr. President, we want to seek this opportunity. If you will find time out of your very busy schedule to come and watch us grace the occasion on Sunday when we face the Algerian champions. Presently, I think the morale of the team is a bit low. We feel that if you would honor us with your presence on Sunday, we'll be able to boost the boys up and cheer the whole nation since everybody is looking at us. And I'm sure, once again, we'll definitely share the glory with you.
Meanwhile, the president, Nana Akufo-Addo, has charged the team to lead Ghana's return to a topmost club level after the successful performances in recent years. He gave the team 1 million Ghana cedis, believing that it will boost their CAF Confederation Cup campaign.
I have to express my appreciation for your finding time to come and visit with me and make the presentation of these 2 prestigious cups to us. I'm happy that the reforms that we had to undertake to sanitize Ghana football have received now, I think, general acceptance and plaudits. People have seen that it was worth doing and that it has helped us grow our game. There's much more to be done in the future to bring us back to exactly where we are, the dominant football power on this continent and one of the dominant ones in the world. That, for me, has to be our goal. And in attaining that goal, I know that House of Oak will have a very big part to play in it. So we have to encourage you. Unfortunately, I'll not be here on Sunday. I have official business outside the country to transact. But I'll be with you in spirit. And even better, I will do something which I did for Asante Kotoko when they came here as the champion club of Ghana, the league champions. I made a contribution to help them in their preparations for the continental tournament. The minister reminds me that it was 1 million CDs that I gave. I cannot be seen to give a penny less than 1 million CDs. Then people will accuse me of bias. And as president, I can't be accused of being biased as far as Ghanaians are concerned. So that is the contribution that I'll make, which I hope will help encourage and incentivize the players and all of you, and at the same time make up a little bit for my inability to be with you on Sunday. We'll make a contribution to you of 1 million CDs. The Chief of Staff will organize it for you to help you in your preparations for this competition. And hopefully we will hear some good news from you. It's about time we had some good news about Ghana's involvement in continental and international football. And hopefully Hearts will lead the way.
General Secretary of the Ghana Football Association, Prosper Harrison Addo, has explained the new structure of the country's football competitions, which takes effect next season. According to him, the new format will see the introduction of a Super League and regional championships.
For Division 1, we have 48 clubs.
48 clubs, yes.
Yes. Don't forget in the statute, the GFA statute that was promulgated, if you look at the transitional provision, and this issue was one of the issues that even had during the passing the Congress that passed the regulation into force. You realize that there was caucus meeting and then the class will go out and go and meet and come back. Because at the time, the idea from the normalization and the FIFA team was that 48 Division 1 is a no-no, and so it has to be cut down. Eventually, it was agreed and it was put into the transitional provision that should be 18. Okay. So that statutory provision is already there. So to get it done, what we've done in terms of the pyramid is to have a 18-club national Super League.
18-club national Super League.
Yes.
And not Division 1 league.
No, the naming. We'll come to the name. Let's look at the pyramid first. So when you come from the Premier League, you come down to the Super League. And the Super League is nationwide in character. So the Division 1 league that will play this year also going to be very, very competitive because of these reasons I'm going to give. The champions or the winners of each zone would advance to the Premier League. Yes. And 3 current Premier League clubs will drop. When they drop, they will drop to their
various zones.
The Super League. No, they will drop to the Super League. So they are the first, let's say they are the first candidates of the
Super League.
Yes. And then second, the winners have gone to Premier. So second to sixth. Sixth position. That will give you 5 clubs each.
So 15. From all the zones, that will be 15 teams.
15 teams. Yes. Those 15 teams will join
the demoted class from the Premier League.
That's it for sport, but we'll have more sports stories on myjoyonline.com. Coming up next is World News.
And that's how we end Joy News today. For more news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com. You can also go to our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages. We are Joy News on TV for all the latest updates. My name is Mapito Sibiri.